All right, wrapping up our Magic segment today before we dive on into some Raid with some blue-white control. This is one of Bob's favorites decks, and honestly, it's one of my decks I've enjoyed in this format. This is a deck that locked up our top 1200 invite with this past month, so I'm going to be playing in the MCQ qualifier this weekend, which is great. We have 4 Dream Trawlers at the top end of our curve, which some people have been talking about. Dream Trawler is great. Buy its stuff. I like playing a lot of this card. This is a card, it's your best card in the mirror. It's really good against most other decks when you're looking to close. Conquers Death, also just a fantastic bomb at the top end. Having a couple copies of Chemister's Insight gives us a way to kind of filter through Dream Trawlers when they gum up a little bit too much. Just other good, clean interaction and sweepers here at the bottom of our curve. Lots of adult 4-Evs. Let's go ahead and dive on into some matches with this one and see how it goes. Hopefully well. If we hit a good run, I would say this deck could maybe drag us into Mythic today, but if we're only playing for like 90 minutes to 2 hours, we probably only have time for 3 or 4 matches with this. Gargantuan, thank you for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Do you think I can talk them into playing poker? Is this keepable? I don't know if this is keepable. This is probably fine, right? If they play like turn 1 basic mountain, I'm dead, but this hand's keepable in plenty of other matchups. Yeah, maybe if I find an Omen, this hand's still playable against aggro. Not a basic mountain. Fist pump. Found a birth anyways. Nothing but professionalism on this channel, chat. Flair22, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Oaklandia. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday wherever you're at in the world. Is the green splash for Tameo still worth exploring? Yeah, I think it's fine if you're looking to grind more. We should go all in on turn 1. I agree. This is a strong all-in hand. Birth is just so good in this archetype. It's one of the reasons why this archetype can afford to play so few lands for a control deck. We get to go ahead and pick Birth back up here, so we have a guaranteed land drop next turn, assuming that resolves. I'm going to discard Dream Trawler here, which may be a little aggressive, but like with double Conquer's Death, it feels right. But it also just like sitting here bricking off, which is great for us. Yeah, they're conceding. So the fact that they're conceding there, I think we still board like their fires, right? That seemed like an unreasonable plan. I think we still board like their fires. Although it's important to remember if they are fires that the fires decks tend to board into what's his name? I'm blanking on his name. The 2/2 that attacks and draws cards. Yeah, Robin Hood. He's the one. Let's give this a try. Yeah, Robert the Rich. The Shiny Kuma, thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Sure. This has Absorb if they're still on the Fires plant. It is Shatter the Sky in case they have Legion Warboss or Robber the Rich. We did affectionately call Robber Bernie the other day. Seems appropriate. Well, I thought it might feel a little windy in here, but I was wrong. The fact that they plus that makes this Narset a bit better here, which is nice. I would love to conquer death. Good Lord, Gengar.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
I think I'm just going to Conquer's Death the Teferi here. Exiling Teferi's appealing. Unlocking my counter spells is appealing. If they attack and kill Narset, she'll come back with Conquer's Death.
Trust me, I have a plan.
That's cute. Still want to get rid of this before it can draw cards here. They probably saw the writing on the walls that I was going to exile it with Conquer's Death next turn. I assume they're going to leave Narset here since she's going to, since she would come back otherwise. Our best possible draw next turn is, like, our own Teferi, so we can bounce our Conquer's Death before the last chapter goes off empty. What's the word? Nukes? Yo, dog. I heard you like to Conquer's Death. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep Dispute at this point. Even once this pops off, I can Dispute a blue spell or Aether Gust, a red spell. It's real good, Beansy. See the card sleeves. Rawr. Rawr. They could have a Dispute of their own here because they did shock in. So countering the Teferi there, like, feels bad because they're just going to get it back next turn. But if I don't counter it, they'll bounce the Conqueror's Death. So, like, it's a pretty lose-lose situation for me. And, like, I was in an okay spot till Teferi reared his ugly head. And now, like, I'm locked out of using my interaction on their turn again. Otto the Bobcat, thanks for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. But a well-designed and not at all toxic card difference. I agree. Oh no, my raid counter's over it. 29 weeks, 2 days, 11 hours, 7 minutes, and 19 seconds until Teferi's gone. But who's counting, really? I'm gonna bottom both of these. When we brick here, we still get to activate a castle. I think, yeah, Conquer, Death, or Trawler are the things we're looking for here for sure. I think Teferi's fine in non-rotating formats where things tend to be a little bit more miserable on average anyways. I think the level of misery that Teferi provides is a little bit much for standard. Chandra Corset didn't have any Chandra reprints, so I'm kind of holding out hope that the Teferi Corset won't have any Teferi reprints. Yeah, he had an extra loyalty from the Conqueror's deaths that wasn't a line to kill him. Will you stream the last few moments of Teferi no longer be legal? That sounds worthwhile. Alright. Veto me, daddy. This resolves, we're in a pretty good spot. Okay. Gosh, what is in their hand? That bodes really well for our hero here. Teferi at M21 will stop activated abilities as well as instants. Sounds about right. It's a mix of the two, didn't I? We actually just started playing Modern again for the first time in a long time. We've done 2 Modern leagues in the last week. With Pioneer being what Pioneer is at the moment, I've started taking a little bit more variety of formats. So, if you are a subscriber, I'm taking Modern, Legacy, and I'm even entertaining Pauper submissions again. The Teamer aggro deck exceeded my expectations. It was definitely more reasonable than I was expecting. Alright, so inside of their draw step here, I'm going to Gust this to the top before they can cast the spell within their main phase. Was the Modern segment the result of the survey? Nah, it was more the result of me just wanting to diversify. I also increased the minimum price for all Magic Online decks in general. If I'm being completely honest, I would like this channel to get to a point where we're all Arena for Magic content. I greatly prefer playing Magic on Magic Arena. Am I dead to a Cavalier here? I'm actually dead to Red Cavalier with this play, right? Why was Mystic... Oh, it was free because it cost 2 more, but then cost 2 less? This is 7, 12. Yeah, I'm actually exactly dead here. That's unfortunate. Maybe I should just let that dispute resolve. Yeah, probably. I think that was my game to lose and I punted it. I didn't count that I was dead to that until after. After I'd cast or paid for it. Easy mulligan. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, I think I'm in for that. Smooth things out. It really is Protect. I'm really glad Historic's getting some more attention, looking like it's going to be a real format in terms of card depth at least. Whoop. That's a really good one. Huh? I'm gonna keep both of these. Hey, howdy, nerd girl. Long time no see. Hope your Tuesday's going swell. You want to get into it soon? As always, I plan to play whatever people intend to pay me to play. It's my plan here now and forever. So long as there's demand and support for formats like Modern and Pioneer, even on Magic Online, we'll play some of them here. Think I want to try and just hit a land drop naturally here. Yeah, Tithe Taker plus Dahlia is gonna be real obnoxious. I think I'm just shocking this in and passing. Two mana, 2/1 Thalia, first strike, makes 9 creature spells, cost 1 more. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Stop it. Bad Teferi. I think Shillsville said they had a spot this morning. Most of us that run the clans boot people out if they're inactive for 5 days, because the more everyone in the clan plays, the more rewards the whole group gets. I think I have one close to being booted out of Hoaglandia. I gotta double check. We can check when I pull it up. I'm gonna do another hour and a half of blue-white, and then close up with that. So all of the clans are just open to join a Zoomail. If you look in the channel topic on the subs Discord, you can just grab the name of it and search in the clan thing. Drooping Fig, thanks for the 6 months. Welcome back. I'll pay 3 here. If you popped in Hoaglandia, that one's probably full. There's like 5 of them though, so feel free to just search any of the ones listed there. And we usually post when there's an inactive. Do you have a Cavalier? Hopefully it's a red Cavalier so I can Aether Gust it off the board next turn. Hey Seth, am I a whale yet? You should be. Thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate it. That's pretty worst case scenario here. That's a threat I can't take off the board that sits there and generates card advantage for them. Really need to find a Shatter here. I guess I have a lot of looks at a Shatter, so let's give it a go, shall we? That's arguably better. Gets rid of Kenny before he generates any advantage. But put a stop on my upkeep. I might want to sacrifice these to scry next turn depending on what they do. Noted, Seth. Shillington has 5 spots. There you go. Perfect. I think I'm not doing this now. Super rewarded. I'm just Aether Gusting the fires here because I can't hold up Aether Gust on their turn because of Tithe Taker. If they don't have a threat or a sweeper here, we're in a good spot. Wow, did you see how bad that animation delay was connected to the server there? The token trigger hadn't even visually gone on the stack yet, and it was already through my draw step. I set this stop while it was visually still had the token trigger out. It's so insane. They bottomed the fires.
Might be a bad idea.
I know I'm gonna lose the Teferi doing this, but I think I just want to draw 2 with him, basically. I think this is fine. Just want to try and find my way to a threat. Maybe I'm supposed to hold that land in the event that I find a, trawler. And that's probably something you should be able to Google, Yellow Yoshi. I would imagine a Google search for things like that would be more accurate than random people in chat shouting things at you. So didn't find another one of our Dream Trawlers yet, but 2 pieces of interaction here, feeling okay. It's bailing out. Low tolerance for blue-white. Fair. Whoa, chat. We played an entire match of blue-white, and it only took us 22 minutes. It's gotta be some kind of record. Gotta be some kind of record. I'm going to bottom a second Veto against an unknown in the event that they're playing something like Groll or something smashy. I'd rather try and find something that interacts with the board. If you're on an Android device, Terran, click the 3 dots in the corner and hit open in web browser. Android apps have a security feature that prevents them from opening URL shortened links. Alright, so kinda sad I bottomed that Veto. I think I'd rather Narset. Than Teferi first here. Let's like prevent any possible card draw they could get going, like if they have another Teferi.
Meditate and prepare.
I think I'm gonna bounce their Sphinx here. And then hopefully they play out 2 creatures next turn and I can shatter them after that. Perfect. Absorb sounds great. Make sure the capitalization works, Terran Terror. It's case sensitive URL. Okay, I mean, they know about this shatter, so they know their board is dead. I assume they're going to kill my planeswalkers here. Wizards implementing a work from home policy. That makes sense. A lot of tech places in the Seattle area are telling people who can work remotely to work remotely. If they have a red cavalier plus another, oh, that kills Narset. That makes sense. If they have a red cavalier and another threat here, we do die. Omen of the sea, omen of the sea. Do 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 do. Bottoms up. You love to see it. You love to see it. And private universities closing are a far cry from public schools closing, though. I think schools closing is a good idea. We've played a deck with Kefnet and Omen. We've not. Public schools in your area are closing today. Where are you at, dude? Light? Atlanta? Yeah, Jake's. Yeah, a lot of colleges have moved to online only. So I'm not blocking here because they could have a Deafening Clarion or a Storm's Wrath that would kill my Dream Trawler and I wouldn't be able to protect it from that. In New Jersey, we have emergency staff training for online class implementation. Ohio State told students not to come back from break for 2 weeks. All right. So we need some kind of removal spell here ourselves. A Teferi or a... what's it called to be ideal? Conqueror's Death would be our best possible draw, right? Okay, that's some redraws. Hey, Dude Light, thanks for the sub gift team. I think I'm supposed to bottoms up here. I think I'm supposed to bottoms up here and just try and hit the Conqueror's Death. Alright, and then I'm going to trade this. Because I just want another card draw. Feels bad, man. Just so many cards in our hand just don't get to do anything because of Teferi. I think I'm just shattering this guy here. And killing the borrower. Alright, bottoms up. That's good for us at least. Okay, they found one they like. Yep. Yep. So if I scry at my upkeep, I can still cast a 4 or 5 mana spell here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Alright. At least we know how to board this one, huh? Just played it. Gonna bring in some Gust, gonna bring in some Disputes, gonna trim Chemisters, gonna trim a Birth. I think I trimmed a Narset and a couple of Vetos last time. So, one of the things to know about this matchup is it's a good example of you need to be boarding for not the deck you just played against, but for the deck you're going to be playing against. And so the reason why you see me cutting things like Veto, even though our opponent has an incredible number of non-creature spells game one, is that I'm expecting them to have things like Robber of the Rich and potentially Legion War Boss post board. So having cheap answers to things like that is ideal. Okay, are you okay, Arena? Do you need some help? Do you need a hand, Arena? What can we do for you? Swish. Think I'm supposed to tap out and not hold the absorb up this turn. Could go either way. Hitting my land drop is like pretty important here. Leave blue up in case we draw Mystic Dispute.
Right on schedule. Let's try this.
Can we draw an untapped land, an untapped land, an untapped land? If we draw an untapped land, we will conquer's death. This was the wrong color hate card, huh?
I've got time. Longer. Stand by and watch.
The first bailout from this mess is going to be for the oil and gas industry. Well, you need to understand that the Republican Party is the welfare party. They just believe in welfare for corporations, not for everyday people. Both parties want to spend our money freely. It's just, you know, people like Bernie want to spend it on actual people. Won't somebody please think of the corporations?
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Corporations are people, something like that. Yo, dog, I heard you like to conquer's death. So I conquer's death, your conquer's death, after you conquer's death, my conquer's death. Big Zwine, thank you for the 29 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me here.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Oh, Hacksaw. Elspeth, the most alive planeswalker. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Staying alive. Staying alive. Do, 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 do. You're just looking for lands here, huh? So Teferi's not in play yet. They can counter us, but their counters currently cost 2 more. So they like can't veto us there, which is great. Alright, they found our Shatter the Sky. So Conquer's Death's gonna put Teferi in play.
I'm known for my excellent timing.
Teferi's gonna bounce this, draw a card. Cause I'm Dream Trawling. Dream Trawler is actually not particularly good to play here because Dream Trawler, they'd just play Robber, run it in, and then cast the Shatter of the Sky they took off the top of my deck.
Keep an open mind.
So I want to wait to Trawler until I can also absorb or something, I think. Although I might just want to absorb Robber of the Rich here. You can't sing that song and then not play it. That's fair. I apologize to people I have let down through my actions. Who is this targeting? Narset? I think that's fine.
You cannot see your folly.
Yeah, they'd cast it second main. This doesn't have to live to cast a spell that is put into play off it. It just has to,
Here we go.
it just has to have attacked that turn. Robber is good versus blue-white because drawing cards off of my deck is as good as drawing cards off of their deck. So basically think of Robber of the Rich as a 2/2 haste for 2 that reads draw a card each turn. I guess it misses on land, so like it's like 60% to draw a card each turn. It also pressures my planeswalkers off the table on a lot of board states, which is a big deal. Robber also triggers off of Borrower. That's good to know. Right, Borrower is a rogue. Seems pretty good. Thief of Sanity. Very, very similar card, yeah. Now the question is, do I birth on 2? The question is probably not, right? I'd probably rather hold Dispute up here. They're gonna like Legion War Boss and make me sad though. Bone Crusher also doesn't make me particularly excited. Huh. Kind of surprised that just resolved. Was kind of expecting them to have a dispute since they held up blue. Alright, feels like a chance for stabilizing a little bit here. This has given us some hits on the chin, but we've hit our land drops. These absorbs are gonna like gain us 9, which is kind of absurd. Opponents missed a land drop. It's a great draw. I get to Conqueror's Death here. And then even if they play a threat, I can't dispute this turn. I can Teferi, pick Conqueror's Death back up, and then redeploy it in 2 turns. Sure. That means I need a Shatter ASAP. There's nothing useful in here, right? Yeah. Shatter? Yeah, the auto tapper gives a heavy priority to Alright, they're committed to just running me down here. Huh, maybe I should have played a tapped land because I had Teferi there. So like now if I want to hold up Absorb, I have to Shock. I think that's probably still what I want to do. Lets me hold up Dispute as well. And then like my wall blocks the 2/2 and eventually my castle checks this 1/1. Opponent's had enough. Alright, 2-0 against Just Guy Fires. I think this deck is a really good Fires matchup, I think. Having a good Fires matchup is a big part of why PV won Worlds with it. Your historic Discord is full of monsters. Listen. They just like silly things, Marty. Easy mulligan here. No second land. Even on the draw with the Scry, just not keepable. Always Shattered the Sky late to the party, huh? Bottom Narset here in the dark. Keep my Teferi and my Sweeper and my Chemisters. We'll see if turn 4 Sweeper is going to be good enough here on the draw against whatever's leading on Footlight Fiend. Probably a more aggressive deck. It might be too slow. Maybe 3 mana, maybe turn 3 Teferi bounce something can be enough to weather the storm. We'll see. Are they going to miss a land? Rats. Shatter popped into the hand significantly later than the other cards because Magic Arena is a release-ready piece of software. Veto's actually not a terrible draw with them having Heartfire here. They're probably going to cast the Heartfire for damage. I think I'd rather do this. I think I'd rather stop this than the Heartfire. Because they're going to sack Grim Innate here and deal 4 to us. And then I'm going to get to Teferi, bounce their zombie token. Down to 13. That's perfect. If they don't give us something worth shattering next turn, we'll get to Chemister's Insight into Conqueror's Death potentially. Perfect. That's also phenomenal because now we can absorb instead of Chemister's Inciting here. They have the risk factor build. They are. Maybe I'm just supposed to absorb that. Seems very possible. I bet we'll see them risk factor in response here. The grip full of Conqueror's Deaths is really not what you want to see, huh? Alright, kill me. I agree, Centopath. Most software is pretty medium around the edges a lot of the time. Alright, let's board in 60 cards. Call it a day. For anybody who thought that I was joking about having 60 cards in the sideboard, I present Exhibit A. Get in here. Get in here, deck. Got killed by a draft card. I'll have you know that when I won Twitch Rivals, there were Heartfires in my deck. Thank you very much. If you haven't seen the video on this, it's great. The Daily Show with Trevor Noah is a treasure, by the way. If you don't have him in your normal rotation. Yep. I think I decree here, mostly because I want to try and scry into a third land. If we hit 6 lands in 6 turns, this hand looks very good. That's good, Charles. It's good. It's good to see people who aren't the president are taking things seriously. Yeah, it's bad, Marty. I don't know, like, people that are talking about him winning the general, I don't know how these people expect him to win the general with clips like that's probably not even trying to find stuff, right? That's just like what already exists and is easy to grab. Electability is a nonsense lie that the media uses to discourage you from voting for specific people and encourage you to vote for others. Like, it's bad. Oh, you know what? I should have waited to play my lands. We could draw a tapped land here.
That's more like it.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. The Wake. They would rather have Biden lose to Trump than have Trump lose to Sanders. I think there's probably some truth to that. People, and I mean, like, it's just inherent to like how people work, right? Like, people in general are terrified of change. Yeah, and then that's not to refer to individual voters. That's to refer to like the giant pile of people that all jumped to hide behind Joe Biden recently. I think I'm just vetoing. This matchup seems real tough. I've played a lot. I played a bunch of blue-white, and the red aggro matchup with the red aggro matchup with the build. The red aggro matchup with the other build seems very reasonable. The other red aggro build with like Torbrands and Cleaves. I think they ran a crappy moderate in 2016 and they lost with a crappy moderate, and then they're putting all their weight behind another crappy moderate in 2020, Gannon. And I think you're right that it's a little tinfoil hatty, but actions also speak louder than words. And even if they don't intentionally want that, that's what their actions, in my opinion, say. The 40 plus billionaires that have contributed to Joe Biden's campaign, they'll be way more profitable and have more money under Donald Trump than they will Bernie Sanders. And I'm sure some of them, out of like empathy and compassion, would prefer Sanders to Trump still, but like almost certainly not all of them do. I mean, Joe Biden was 100% a safety pick for Obama. He was a pick that was supposed to make moderates feel at ease with Obama's platform of pushing for change. If you look at Joe Biden's record, it's not particularly stellar. And you know what, Gannon? It's not good enough. The reality of the world that we're living in today, maybe a decade ago, Biden's platform would have been enough. Today, with where the world is at with climate change and everything else going on in the climate that we live in, like, it's just the cold, hard truth is it's not good enough. Yeah, people really need to learn about Overton window. I agree. As a Biden sucks type person, saying he would veto Medicare for all is a little bit of a stretch based on the clip. I think he's a safe. I don't even think I think calling him a safe centrist moderate is idiotic because he's not a safe pick. His voting record sucks. The thing I've heard that's going to be very true come the general is Trump will be able to run to the left of Joe. And it won't matter if in reality what Trump's going to do won't be to the left because facts don't matter to these people. Just look at that clip. Look at that clip that I linked from Trevor Noah again. And you tell me that that's the person you want running against Trump. You tell me that that's the person you think that Trump won't be able to pick apart. That person laying into voter after voter after voter. All right, we get to put our money where our mouth is and see if the other red matchup's actually not unwinnable. I think I leave in like one Conqueror's Death. It's probably fine. Yeah, Gruul's great. Until the new cards drop, I think Gruul's probably the best deck in Historic. It's got a good mix of pressure and disruption, and it's very consistent. Hey, Grant the Nerd, thanks for the third of year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Okay, link the video again. I definitely can. So, unequipping items cost money, and there's two prongs of attack for that. One, obviously, it's a silver sink. Two, if they don't make it silver to unequip items, it becomes game theory optimal to like tediously shuffle your couple of sets of gear back and forth between different champions, which, like, having game theory optimal things lead to tedious gameplay tends to not be ideal, because you push out people who want to optimize that way because you make them feel like playing optimally is a chore. So like there's definitely a like drain your freemium currency aspect too, but when you think about it from a game design perspective, there's also that element to it too, because of how many different champions and teams you eventually build up. Dr. Mr. Punny, thanks for the 10 bucks. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for the support. Thanks for approving Boros Angel. Sounds good. I'll get that one added after we're done today. Up and Damn, thanks for the prime support. Welcome to Glandia. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Turn 2 Birth, definitely one of our best starts here. Get that 0-4 down and block in. Got plenty of removal here. That would be a good tooltip. I agree, Terran Terror. I agree. I agree with that, Mafia. I think anybody projecting putting out Biden as a safe pick is very biased. There will be a competitive election regardless of who's elected. Anybody voting for Biden just because they think he's a safe pick and he doesn't represent the things they actually want and Bernie does, you should vote for Bernie. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm playing the Black Red Titan deck on Friday or Saturday for the event. In fact, we're probably going to play it tomorrow's stream and Friday's stream, so that I can get some more repetitions in for it. I think I'm just going to shatter here. You should go back and watch the last video, Up and At 'em. If you didn't watch it, we talked about it there a good bit. Yeah, relevant context links are always welcome in chat. Did they... What is in their hand, chat? What is in their hand that they're just like, yeah, I'm gonna play this out? I think I'm actually gonna decline to get a land here because I would like to try and get my hand smaller. I guess I'm just casketing this. Yeah, it's probably wrong. Could go either way. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying the mono blue deck. It's definitely one of the good go big decks. I think bottoming the absorb is right. I'm just like looking for Dream Trawler at this point. I'm pretty sure that if we haven't massively reformed the cost of college education in the United States by the time my oldest, who's currently 6, goes, there's going to be bigger fish to fry than me not having money to send them to college. So Christy and I haven't really been thinking about that. From a practicality standpoint, it feels like it's low down. So, worth noting here that this can destroy enchantments, which Annex is, which is great. Not sure I want to buy a house until after the fascism settles a little bit. It's just very reasonable. Yeah, I mean, that's a good play incentive have, honestly. Ohio State canceled all in-person classes. I believe that. That's a good response. All right, so we're gonna end step, kill this Annex with intervention, and then we're gonna untap and shatter. I'm gonna block this to prove a point.
I know my responsibility. I've got time.
You have clinics that require us to be there. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of the opinion that, like, that'll all be there once it's done. Bounce Casket instead. That's an interesting thought. Maybe that's fine. I could see that. It's like guaranteed. I don't know. Like, is bouncing Casket better than getting to Dream Trawler faster? Yeah, Christy and I were talking about potentially refinancing. Our current mortgage is like almost 5%. I think they're below 3% for some banks right now. Might be something worth exploring for us. Do I want this castle? I don't think that I do. I think I'm just looking for Dream Trawler. Perfect. You feel COVID-19 is entirely blown out of proportion by the media. Disagree. In fact, if anything, Trump and his administration have been downplaying it a good deal. Like, Italy literally has a travel ban in and out of their country right now. Like, the part of the reason why you think it's being overblown by the media is because we're not really testing things. Like, once they get proper testing kits out and really start testing people in areas where there's been confirmed cases, the number of confirmed cases is going to go through the roof. If you didn't see Trump in his interview, Trump literally didn't want people to get off of infected cruise ship because he, and I quote, liked the numbers where they were at. Him and his administration are doing everything they can to suppress the numbers to make things seem better than they are. Oh, Master Dio. I think I'm just birthing here. Chippafish, thanks for 11 months. Welcome back. That's true. That's actually a really good metric. If quarantines and disbanding things are effective, it will look like it's overblown. Well, that's unfortunate. So, I think I'm just playing a tapped land here. Maybe I'm gonna play an untapped land, actually. I think even without the life gain, I'm supposed to absorb this turn, so that way next turn I can play double 2-mana spell. I think we should have mulliganed the double Dream Trawler. And so, SC Giants, this is a good teaching moment. Rather than you telling me the hand is bad because it's double Dream Trawler, why do you think the rest of my spells aren't good enough? That you don't look at this hand from the perspective of it's 2 Dream Trawlers don't keep. You should be looking at this hand from the perspective of what did the rest of the spells do? Because I kind of think lands, Omen, Aether Gust, Birth, these are very good cards to be keeping. One of our hospitals tested 301 staff members who said they haven't been in contact with infected people to see what the results were, and 28 of them tested positive. Yeah. The numbers are going to go through the roof in the United States in the next couple of weeks when they actually get proper testing done. That's a good question. Where are you? The Netherlands? Okay, so we're about to get Ember Cleaved here, right? Not close. And then the plan here is to Aether Gust the Ember Cleave. Oh. Yeah, okay, yeah, I guess that could happen. Huh. Teferi bounces a token here. It's probably fine. Second Teferi feels a little bit bad. And Dream Trawler, not quite the game-ending bomb we needed to be with Tybalt sitting in play. Red matchups felt a lot harder today than it's felt in the past. I wonder if we've just been a little bit fortunate in the past or a little bit unlucky today. Them taking a turn off to kill our Teferi is reasonable for us here. I think we're dead. Yeah, that's fair, Unode. We could just be experiencing a higher volume of cards that are good against us too out of the sideboard. Oh yeah, super never not dead to cleave, right? Okay. Save 2 of these then. That's not how that works, opponent. Not even a little. So I'm going to take 4 here down to 5. This is going to kill this. I can play Teferi, bounce this, hold up Absorb. So I think I discard a backup Trawler here. So, next turn, this kills Tibalt, this gets rid of the token, I'm not dead on board, I can absorb anything they play to change that, and then Dream Trawler starts lifelinking. We need some healing crystals. You know, if you would have told me I would have come out of this with more respect for Marianne Williamson than Elizabeth Warren, I'd have called you crazy, but Williamson endorsed Sanders, so you know, there's that. So the second Dream Trawler post Tibalt means we still just die to like this, right? Because this says pro-white. I didn't listen to Williamson's speech. I don't really know a lot about her. The only thing I've listened to her was like the couple of times she was in the early debates. Like the people that were obviously long shot candidates, I didn't bother researching. If I play Trawler, am I dead on board? Trawler puts me at a virtual 8, and I'm taking 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So this means I'm not dead on board. Bouncing Scorcher leaves me dead on board to the Castle chat. So if they activate Castle, this is 4 that I can't block. They would hit me with this, which would be 5. I would block this. I would go up to 8, and then I would take 2 more. So yeah, Dream Trawler means I'm not dead on board. I'm dead to a Stiff Breeze, but we're not dead on board. We're dead to Shock. We're dead to Stomp. The Rimrock is on an adventure. They've already pumped with that. Let's not lit up the stage here. That is also lethal, right? Yes, because I block here, and then I take 1, 3, 5. So if they hadn't had the Scorch Spitter there, I would have been able to Teferi, bounce the token, hold up, absorb. But because they had the Scorch Spitter there, we weren't able to overcome it. Close game, thin margin. All right, let's play one more with blue-white control, then we're gonna roll on into some Raid Shadow Legends to wrap the day up. If you haven't seen that before and you enjoy my content, really easy way to support my content to install Raid on your mobile or PC. Check it out with my link there. I've been playing a ton of Raid off stream. It's a fun team building RPG style game. If you install it and enjoy it, there's a channel in the subs Discord that a bunch of us talk about it in. We got like 5 different Hooglandia themed clans. And when I said one more, saying you're gonna play one more match is a guaranteed way to queue into the blue-white control mirror, for those not familiar with the Magic Arena. Someone said Shillington had 5 open slots earlier today. Yes, they are linked, Felcrow. So at a certain point, you can create an account, so you can log in on both. It could still be banned. Probably not at this point, but... the fact that they haven't played anything likely means it's a mirror. Just looking for counter spells and Planeswalkers, Conqueror's Death, Dream Trawlers. Looking for them high impact cards. I'm gonna shock that in, I think. It doesn't really matter. That's not for 5 hours, Jameson. How do we measure which clan is better? Well, if you're just starting out, you actually want to be in one of the weaker clans, because the big thing the clans give you is you kill a big boss monster together each day, and being in a clan that's closer to your power level tends to be more ideal for that. Yeah, like the health total, like, really doesn't matter, right? Like, the Dream Trawler swings aren't decided by inches, they're decided by miles, usually. There is a clan chat in the game, Silent, so if you feel someone's doing something that you'd like to comment on, you can communicate with them. Which, if you switch to the clan chat, you don't have to look at the general game chat too, which is also positive life EV. Castle is actually, and this is the upside to shocking in here, because this way I can activate Castle this turn, which is great. Gonna get vetoed and be sad here. Although I guess if they veto, I can Conqueror's Death to clean this up. Alright, veto me, daddy. If they don't give me something to absorb here, I'm gonna sack an Omen, I think. Main deck dispute. Yikes. I have Conqueror's Death here at least.
Might be a bad idea.
The mirror match tends to be about 3 cards in my experience. Conqueror's Death, Trawlers, and Teferis are the 3 most important things. Which is one of the reasons why we play 4 Conqueror's Death and 4 Trawlers. They're 2 of the most important cards in this type of matchup. Perfect, Beansy. Play the land out there so I can Shatter to kill their Trawler and still activate Omen this turn. Noted, puppy. That'll get added after I'm all done streaming today. Well, that's another Trawler. Yikes. I have a lot of looks at another Shatter here, though. So I get to go bottom here. Teferi's going to come back into play from my Conqueror's Death here. And then Teferi will bounce Omen of the Sea, which will draw a card. So we'll say bounce Omen. And then Omen gives us 3 more looks, set a Shatter. That's actually a decent pickup because it's a 8th land, so we can play the second Omen, so I get 6 more looks here. Perfect. I think I'm in the market for a Chemister's Insight too, huh? Hey, Blunga. Thanks for checking out the raid sponsor. I like that they added the username. That's nice. The last one didn't have that. Good addition. Sure. Yo, dog, I heard you like to Conquer's Death, so I'm gonna Conquer's Death your Conquer's Death. So I know I want to draw this Insight, but I want to use my mana this turn as well. I think I'm actually going to keep the Shatter the Sky here, just because I think there's value in having a backup answer to a Trawler should they find one. Yeah, I missed a couple at the start too, Ga. The mono red matchup felt harder than I remembered. We also played against a Heartfire build of mono red that's been going around a little bit, and that one felt extra challenging. We dismantled Just Skyfires twice though. That matchup's very good for this archetype, even when they do sideboard in extra threats. This is just game 1, yep. Ain't that the truth? Usually these ones can go to time, so probably gonna be here for another 40 minutes unless someone gets real far ahead. Looking like we're gonna be the one that gets ahead. Although I suppose I don't currently have anything to get back with this. So my plan here, this triggers on my first main phase. So what I want to do here is scry, and if I draw this Narset, what I'm gonna do is I put a stop on my turn so I can draw, and now before we get to my main phase when this triggers, I'm gonna Chemister's Insight, ditch the Narset. She's very good, Cody. I've got her on my clan boss and my dungeon teams.
My prowess is unmatched by my peers. I have just the trick for this.
Perfect. And now I get to do this to bait a counterspell. I'm gonna shock this in to play around to dispute. Think I'm just sacking this. Perfect. So Teferi's perfect because he lets me block a counterspell basically, and then Conquer's Death there, Conquer's Death. Yo, dog. Yes, Teferi, Conquer's Death, and Dream Trawler are the cards that matter in this matchup. Yeah, it remembers the last used team for each area you play in. So if you have specific teams that are good for specific areas, it remembers those. And then, like, I'm picking Teferi back up next turn with this. Like, they might have a Shatter here, actually, and then we just pick Dream Trawler back up. So, like, they need running Shatters here. And even if they do have running Shatters, like, even if they do have running Shatters, I have Castles and they don't here. And I have another Conqueror's Death in the tank. Hey, Oriko. If you do, I think that logo means someone spent dollars on the game. If you do end up liking Raid and you want to spend money on it, the Battle Pass is the best dollars for your best bang for your buck. Gives you a lot of stuff. All right, I'll take Omen. Then we get to cast Omen here before the game ends. And that's I'm only through one Trawler at this point, right? So there's like 3 Trawlers and 28 cards on my deck. So I'm going to put a stop on their end step. So that way I can play this. And then in response to this trigger, I'm going to sacrifice it. So we get to scry 4. Although I guess if we're coming to my turn anyways, this doesn't really make sense. Yeah, this is just being silly. I should have just drawn first. Normally, if I was drawing on my turn, this would be fine. Yeah, silence. In fact, I bought it with the extra levels too, and I won't buy it with extra levels next time. The extra levels, you like have plenty of time. I already hit level 100 with 4 weeks to go. Yeah, the daily gem thing's the second best value behind the battle pass. I think I'm holding this because we're eventually going to draw a Dream Trawler, and when I do, I'm going to need bad cards to discard to it. So do I scry here, or do I make a 1/1 to pressure this in case I can't Conqueror's Death it? I think I'd rather scry. I think I'd like to find a counterspell. So let's do this. Don't veto me. The stack interface is so good in this game. They really improved it from the early iterations. I love that when you zoom in, it like has your cards up and their cards down. So very clean. Think I'm scrying during my upkeep here. Yep. Yeah, if I scry during my upkeep, I can still cast Dream Trawler if I find it. Oh no! Oh no! Alright, well, I wasn't going to shuffle. Well, one of these 3 cards is a Dream Trawler, right? So like I know we just bottomed 2, but like one of these is a guaranteed Trawler. We can shuffle later.
Keep an open mind.
And actually, I don't want a Trawler just yet because I want to Shatter after they get their Trawler back with this, right? My opponents use 6 minutes. I've used 8 minutes. I probably need to start playing faster. Tony T, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. So probably going to be chatting a little bit less because this is definitely a matchup that can come down to clocks. I wonder if they'll bounce their Conqueror's Death since they know we have Shatter here.
I'll protect you.
What am I getting after Veto? Nothing very useful. So I guess I'll keep Veto for later because we're eventually going to get rid of Teferi. So we'll draw. We'll grab Veto. We'll pass the turn. Again, not playing this turn, even though it could resolve, because I expect them to get a Trawler here, which then I want to Shatter. negative relocate. That's fine though. If you're playing again, you should pop on in the sub server and chat with us.
Trust me, I have a plan.
The referral links for counting new folks. I'm gonna make a token just in case this doesn't resolve. They have 26 cards in their deck. I have 20 in mine. So we're losing based on deck count, and we're losing based on time at the moment too. Is that all 4 Conqueror's Death from each player? Probably. I don't really have time to look right now. Fair.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Alright, so I bottom 2 Dream Trawlers, so we're gonna play this to shuffle our deck, basically. This card doesn't do anything. Should have scried it away. I'm dumb. 4... I'm gonna play a tap land, so I can already double activate my castles and say pass. Well, I have 2 Dream Trawlers left in my deck, so I don't know that I'm on strictly the 1/1 plan from here. Like, they're gonna find another castle eventually, too. They're through 3 shatters. I think I'm using one of each castle here. I should have known it was going to be the blue-white mirror when I said we were going to play one more. That's how it always works. So I'm 2 mana short of activating all 3 castles in the turn. We've got huge tracts of land. Let's get that auto pass value in here. So if you click on their end step and then click your auto pass button, oh, it does still make me stop and respond to things. That's rude. The auto pass controls in this application need a lot of the features that Magic Online has. So I think you're supposed to leave 3 shatters in the mirror for killing opposing Dream Trawlers and trim a couple of births. Honestly, I think I'm supposed to trim a Chemister's Insight just because the games often come down to decking. We'll bring in disputes and vetoes and call it a day. That seems fine. Yeah, if you're playing blue-white control. If you find blue-white control enjoyable, you probably are fine with the mirror. It's got a lot of stuff going on, and it's just long. We were in a good spot for a little while in the last one. And then opponent slowly caught back up. Yeah, as far as like matches where both players have prison walkers in play, this one's pretty reasonable overall, I think. Oh, they don't have a land. That's so good for us. All right, chat. Welcome to the nobody move part of the game. If my opponent continues to miss land drops, we are just not going to play anything. I was going to play a 3-drop on 6 mana here, but if they're just not doing anything, there's no reason for me to do anything. Gonna field their castle and get another blue source here. Yeah, see, I'm leaving Omen in play because I'm not really looking for anything at the moment, and Omen potentially bouncing with Teferi is valuable. So every turn my opponent passes and discards to hand size, I accrue virtual card advantage. So they're down 2 cards just from missing land drops here. Now I'm actually going to go ahead and sack this because, again, I don't want to blink, but I do want to hit land drops. It's a free Raven Scrying, yep. Discard your worst card, go. Yeah, I think Conqueror's Death is too good to give up here. I agree with that. I think I hold on to Absorb here because Absorb is Absorb counters their trawlers. Cause I'm dream trawling. Do. Alright. I probably shouldn't say this because you always get messed up after you make a declaration like this, but I believe the game has now ended. I've drawn a card with my Dream Trawler. I'm pretty sure the game is over and my opponent can no longer win. Hey, Maxler. Thanks for checking out the raid sponsor. It's garbage time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. So do. I don't even know if I need that mana, but I know I don't need the life, so might as well. Depends on how much you play Relocate. You can eventually run out from that amount. There's no reason for me to play another Trawler out here, he said before he draws the Dovin's Veto to counter the Shatter. So if I hadn't drawn Veto, I wouldn't play another Trawler, but because I have Veto, there's really no reason not to. They stuck a Trawler and they countered my Shatter, so I conceded.
Meditate and prepare.
I know that tune from the intro music from Smallville on the WB from back in the day. Onset Nonsense, thanks for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. PVD, thanks for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. This hand needs to draw lands. We could get stuck like they did last game. That's a very good draw for us. Smallville is 20 years old next year. Yep. I feel like I'm allowed to say back in the day for something that's 20 years old. What do we think? Where's the jury at on that one? Can I say back in the day if it's about to turn 20? So they went top. So I'm going to field their castle and force them to shuffle. We are in danger of discarding the hand size next turn. If we brick on a land, I'm definitely playing Narset. We didn't brick on a land, so I don't have to. Oh, forgot to attack for 1. Hopefully that doesn't matter. It's probably gonna matter, chat. I think having less than 3 castles in your blue-white deck is a mistake. That's very good in the mirror, as this game's likely gonna show. Excuse me? That's a piece of technology. Huh. I think I'm okay with that. Like it pressures planeswalkers too, right? That seems neat. I don't know. I like winning the race still, right? Yeah, they're gonna get to spend mana to draw cards, but like I'm spending mana to make 1/1, so I think that's fine. The drinking age in the United States is so comical. Imagine thinking someone isn't responsible enough to drink alcohol, but also thinking they're responsible enough to take out 6 figures worth of student loans. It's such a bad joke. You or go to war? Yeah. Literally old enough to die for your country, not old enough to buy alcohol. Alright, so now I'm gonna do this, and then we'll Shatter plus Narset is the plan. I guess I could also just Conquer's Death here, but I'd rather Shatter. I think I'd rather Conquer's Death actually, huh? Yeah, let's do this, and then we'll save the Shatter for in case they have a what's it called. We'll save the Shatter for in case they have a Trawler. So the reason why I Mystic Disputed that, even though it didn't counter it, was because if they had another Veto, I didn't want them to be able to veto this. Because I can't dispute a Veto. So I used my Dispute just to tap them out last turn, basically.
Just wait a moment.
I think I again run the Dispute as the tap you out play. So that way if they're on Veto. Yeah. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. They couldn't veto me anyways, right? Because this was popping. I forgot this was popping. At least because I conceded the first game when I did, and the second game was quick. This match isn't in danger of going to time anymore. They have 14 minutes and I have 12 minutes. Really appreciate our opponent's rapid rate of play. A lot of the times I end up pretty far up on clock when playing on Magic Arena, and this opponent is staying even ahead of where I am, which is great. I think they have a dispute, and they're disputing this. I think they're probably supposed to dispute this. They're likely not getting value on it at this point. They vetoed that. That seems aggressive.
My prowess is unmatched. Hone your prowess.
I'm just gonna cash this in for a card, I think.
Sorry I'm late. Don't worry, I got this.
I'm gonna play the land out, because playing the land out lets me absorb and activate my castle this turn. Which I might need to do. This feels like a game similar to the first game that we lost, only in reverse. Like, they're super far ahead on cards right now, but we ended up getting the Planeswalkers into play. And the Planeswalkers feel like they matter more. So I've got 6, 7, 8... 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if I play this, I have 12, so then now I can double activate Castle and cast Veto this turn, which is great. I don't know what that's referring to, Grimes. At least not offhand. Would Absorb have not been the better play there since they keep negative? Absorb counters Dream Trawler. Dovin's Veto does not. It's a really important distinction, I think.
Meditate and prepare.
Feels bad, man.
Let's try this.
Wonder if we'll see 2 Conqueror's Deaths here or not. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate.
Stand by and watch. Trust me. I have a plan.
Cause I'm dream trawling, do bit do. All right, and they have a trawler in their bin, so I think I'm supposed to just double trawler next turn. Oh, they're not getting their trawler back. Sure, okay, so now we'll just play singular trawler. We've been playing this deck for 1 hour and 54 minutes, which means we haven't restarted the client in almost 2 hours, which means it is hung while casting our spell here. Aren't my sponsors wonderful? You should consider buying their stuff. Give me just a moment while I restart our wonderfully release-ready, not memory-leaking client. So if that happens where your spell gets caught on the stack, but the lands don't tap, that means your client's hung and you need to restart. No, I don't want a double trawler because if they have a, what's it called? A shatter, I don't want them to get a 2-for-1. I only wanted to offer them the 2-for-1 and a shatter in the event that they were going to be getting a trawler back of their own. Okay, well, they're dead on board, right? You have like a brazen borrower here or something? You about to like tap my thing? Oh, they have instant speed shatter. That makes sense. Right. Forgot. Sorry, it's, you know, magic. Uh, 29 weeks and change till Teferi's gone, and they're just dead. Play 4 Dream Trawlers, shit. Play 4 Dream Trawlers. Play 3 White Castles. White Castle, plus having a lot of Dream Trawlers dragged us kicking and screaming across the finish line there. So all things considered, the one thing I really have to reflect on from those sets is that the red matchup felt a lot harder than I remember it feeling. And, like, maybe that means the Chemister's insights have been okay, but, like, maybe swapping the Chemister's insights for something else here makes a lot of sense. I could see that being reasonable, like, putting something else in the main deck that, like, hedges the mono-red matchup a little bit. I've seen some builds that have played, there's been some builds that play the 3/4 flyer in the main deck. And I could see the enchantment creature. I could see that being very reasonable. Could see that being fine. All right. At any rate, that's going to wrap up our Magic segment for today. We are going to close things out with a sponsored segment by Raid Shadow Legends, which is a game on mobile and PC, Android, iOS, Windows. Update my thing here in just a second. Oh, there we go. Look at that.